तेरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय राधा माधव कुंज बिहारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी जय गोपी जन वल्लभ गिरिवरधारी यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यशोदानंदन ब्रज जनरंजन यमुना तीरा वनचारी यमुना तीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव श्री राधे जय जय तोरनिताय मायापुर तस्ति जय तोरनिताय जय मायापुर तस्ति जय जगन्नाथ जय जगन्नाथ जय बलदेवा जय सुभद्रा माए जय जय प्रभुपाद 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 जय जय प्रभुपाद भक्त वृंद की Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
So welcome you all once again. I think as we all know, we are continuing the pastimes of Lord Jagannath. You can have some water, please. So we'll continue today as well. So today is the day 3. Anyway, it's week 3, but our discussion is on day 3. So we'll do a quick recap of what we discussed earlier, and then we'll continue from there. Let's chant the prayers. Om Jnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Salakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Yati Sopadantikam Nama Om Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prasthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine निर्विशेष शून्यवादी पाश्चात्य देशतारिणे जय श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद हरे कृष्ण 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे. हरे कृष्ण. So, we discussed in the last 2 weeks that how The Skanda Puran describes the glories of Lord Jagannath, especially the glories of Purushottam Kshetra. And there we discussed how Lord Brahma was somehow distressed. Can you imagine? Like he's a secondary creator of the universe. He's creating everything, but he is in distress because he was thinking, I'm creating something where people will be suffering. Dukkhale masaswatam. And then we discussed about how when he was thinking like this, Lord Krishna, he came and he said that there is a place where people will get bliss, and that is Purushottam Kshetra. And then we discussed how Lord Brahma went there, and then Yamaraj followed him, and then how we hear Lakshmi Devi saying the pastimes of Purushottam Kshetra, describing the Mahatmaya through the story of Markanda Rishi. He got a 7 kalpa lifetime, and how he was tormenting to the oceans, the waves and everything. And then at the end, Mother Lakshmi said that, oh Brahma, there will be a king named Indradumna. Please help him out, assist him whenever he needed. And we stopped there the first day, and the second day we discussed about how King Indradumna had a desire to see the Lord. He was thinking, I had all this kingdom, my family, everything is all there, the kingdom, peoples are quite peaceful, they are living very happily. But it's again all temporary. What next? And then somehow or other he got to know one day by a sages saying that there is a Purushottam Kshetra where in the mountain of Nila Madhava resides. And then he had intense desire to see the Lord. He wanted to move right away. However, his main priest, he says, no, let's Vidyapati go first. Let him find out the place, and then we all can follow. And then we have seen how Vidyapati went there, met Vishwavasu, how he met, again he saw Lord Nilamadeva, his opulence, his Rohini Kund, everything. He came back and described these pastimes to King Indradumna. And then we discussed about how King Indradumna went there with Narada Muni, but he got another bad news from the king of Utkala, saying that we had some time back a storm, and because of that storm, Nilamadhava has disappeared. Isn't it? Just imagine, he was waiting for the day to see Nilamadhava, and Nilamadhava disappeared. Right? It was a shocking for him. However, there was a person all the time with him, Narada Muni. He was guiding him properly. You know, have you heard about GPS? Right. So GPS, we know very well that from the GPS is, in our world, GPS is Guru Parampara system. Right. So from Guru Parampara system, Narada Muni was actually suggesting him the what next, and what next. And at the end, in last week discussion, we saw how Lord Shiva inspired King Indradumna to perform Ashwamedha Yajna, and there we stopped. So he's being advised to do thousands of Ashwamedha Yajna, and then you will be able to see Nilamadhav again. That was the promise given to him. And let's continue from there. Let's pay our obeisances to Lord Jagannath. Nilachala Nivasaya Nityaya Paramatmane Balabhadra Subhadabhyam Jagannathaya Te Namah. Lord Jagannath, who resides in Nilachala with his brother Balabhadra or Baladeva and sister Subhadra Devi. So King Indradumna, as being advised by Narada Muni and Lord Shiva, he started Ashwamedha Yajnas. He invited all the Brahmanas, and he continued. He was so patient, Utsaha Nishya Dhairyat. He was performing Ashwamedha Yajna with so much patience as well. And also Utsaha was there. He has any desire, intense desire to see Lord. He has seen all the calamities. He has seen how Vidyapati saw Lord, but he could not. And then he saw how the sages had seen Nilamadhav, but he could not. With that desire, he was performing Ashwamedha Yajna. And then, just before Ashwamedha Yajnas were about to complete, the Lord appeared in his dream. The same, all effulgent, with all Kastuva Muni, with yellow garment, dhoti, and then all the ornaments on his body, with Sankha Chakra Gada Padma, he appeared in the dream. And he says, everything is all good. And then, again he went back to Narada Muni saying that, you know what, I had this dream. What does it mean? Again, GPS, asking to his guru what to do next. And then he says that actually it is a sign that Lord is pleased with you and he will be appearing very, very soon. And he says that he will be appearing as log of wood. And then next day, both Narada Muni and the king Indradyumna, they went to the shore of Mahanadi, and there they saw 3 huge logs of wood were floating and coming there. It's the Kalpa Vriksha, Kalpa trees. It's in Satya Yoga, right? So Kalpa Vriksha were coming. And then King Indradyumna, he went and then he took out all the 3 logs. Here the pastimes being described in different ways. Some devotee says like King Indradyumna himself with his soldier and elephants, he actually pulled the logs. And some devotees describe this as King Indradyumna, he tried to pull the logs with all his armies and elephants and horses, but he could not pull it out. So then he was being advised by Narada Muni again, saying that Vishwavashu, their families, they were actually worshipping Nilamadhava. And if you invite Vishwavashu, then the logs of wood can come out very, very easily. So there's the second direction, how Vishwavashu came there, and just by his touch, the logs of wood, they came out of the ocean of there. And then again, what next? Because these are the just wood. I haven't seen in my dream as woods. I have seen Krishna himself. So how can it be? Then Narada Muni advised that an old man, a hunchback old man, he's going to carve the deities. And he heard a sound saying that keep the deities in a covered room for 15 days. And then this old man is going to carve it for you. Here it's been described by different devotees in a different way. Like one was King Indradyumna called out for all the carpenters, you just come and carve the deities. You don't know the form, right? How to carve. And then many of them came with their axe. As soon as they touched the wood, the axe used to break, and no one could actually proceed ahead. And one day this old hunchback person, he came. He said, I will try it out. He said, are you sure? Because many people have tried and gone away. Narada Muni says, yes, he will. Because he is Vishwakarma. Don't think him in a different way. Don't think him as a just old man. However, this old man, Vishwakarma, he had a condition. He had a condition that I will be inside the room for 15 days. Do not try to open the door. And for the 15 days, I will be inside. I will have no water, no food, no rest, everything. And, O king, if possible, you do the same as well. 15 days passed. On the 16th day, king entered. When king entered, he saw amazing thing. He saw that the old man, Vishwakarma, he was about to come and say to king, but as king interrupted, he says, I am done now, I am going away, and he disappeared. Then again started crying. He saw the deities. He saw the deities, though they were complete, but he is seeing that these are half-made. I don't see legs, I don't see the eyelids, I don't see hands, no ears, what it is. As he was lamenting, Narada Muni came. He says, don't worry, my dear, this is the form. Yeah, I missed one thing. So at the time when the Lord was being carried out from the ocean, that day is called as Snana Purnima, where King Indradumna made a ceremony to bathe all the trees, the 3 logs of woods, and then that ceremony is called as Snana Purnima. We'll discuss about Snana Purnima at the end a bit, as much you can. And then as the door opened, Indradumna king, who could see the Lord as half, looks like it's not completely made, because no one has ever seen the form earlier. And then he started lamenting. Then Narada Muni came there. Narada Muni, he says very clearly, he described the pastime, how it happened. Once Mother Rohini was being asked by the queens of Dwarika that, "Oh Mother Rohini, what this Braja is and who these gopis are?" Because Krishna, we are trying to please Krishna with all our things, whatever we have, with so much opulent. But still Krishna is crying all the time, saying, gopis, Radhe, Radhe, Shubala, all the things, what it is. Can you please describe us about the pastimes, what it is? However, Mother Rohini had a condition. He says, I will describe this, but there's a condition. The condition is that Krishna and Balram should not be able to hear those. So she made Subhadra Mai to become as a guard, so that as soon as Krishna Balram comes, knock the door, we'll stop the pastime. But as it continues, she started describing about the way how Krishna barefoot moving around in the Vrindavan, taking all the cowherd boys, and Lord Brahma describes in his prayers. He says how Krishna is standing with a hurdle stick in one hand. In one hand he has a morsel of food. In his other hand, he's wearing peacock feather. He's wearing the dress and the ornaments made with the trees and the bark and the leaves and the flowers. And in that way, he is going away here and there and just running around the Vrindavan. And so many pastimes, how he used to steal the butters, and how he used to feed butter the monkey, and how he used to disturb the gopis. Those pastimes were being described. And as this transcendental pastimes were described, our Subhadra Devi, she was out and she was trying to listen everything. And she went into an ecstatic form. Her limbs started merging within her body, as if like they will see it. It's called as Mahabhava form. And meanwhile, as it was being described, Krishna and Balram, they appear, and they came very, very slowly to see what's happening inside, because Krishna and Balram, they knew everything what's happening, and they wanted to hear the pastime, what they have done in Vrindavan. And in one side Lord Balram and one side Lord Krishna, they both put their ears on the door. And as they started to hear about their own pastimes, what happened, and how these gopis are now in Vrindavan, Krishna started thinking something else. He started remembering the gopis. He started remembering all the Brajavasis, and that all his body forms, the hands, the ears, and the neck, the legs, they started shrinking in the body, and this eyelids becomes more enlarged and enlarged and enlarged. And this form is called as Vipralambha Bhava or Mahabhav Prakash, where Krishna is in the mood of separation from the Brajavasi especially. Though he had everything in Dwarka, but still he was missing something. It's been described that in the Vaikuntha, when Krishna is being served, it is served as Shuddha Aishwarya Prema. There is love, but it's completely Aishwarya, is awe and reverence. Like I think I've heard devotees saying that when we worship the deities, we should be worshipping in awe and reverence in that mood as well. Right? And then in Dwarika, it's something different. It says Madhurya Mishrit Aishwarya. So Madhurya is there, but that's not predominant. It's a little bit, but Aishwarya is more prominent in there. And then comes Mathura. In Mathura, the devotees serve Lord in a Aishwarya Mishrit Madhurya. Aishwarya is more, but still Madhurya is there. But in Braja, it's Suddha Madhurya. It's completely pure love. There is no tinge of Aishwarya. I think, while Krishna used to walk on the Vrindavan, and his Gopas friends, they were still there, and they could see that Lord Brahma and Indra, they are chanting the prayers, glorifying Krishna, and they used to ask kiddingly, oh Krishna, when did you make friends with those personalities? Who are they? And Krishna says, let them offer prayers. Right? And so anyway, you may be a god, but we are happy that God is our friend. Right? They don't treat Krishna as God, but the bhava is still as friends, as son. Even now in Braja, we can see that the bhava still is there, and many devotees are there. They still worship Krishna as their son, right? And not as God, but He is supreme. There is in Vrindavan Ashtakam, there is a nice prayer being said by our Acharya. It says, Na yoga siddhena mamastu moksha Vaikuntha loke pina parsadatvam prema pina sad iti chetaram tu mamastu vrindavana eva vasha. What he says, na yoga siddhir na mamastu moksha. O Lord, I have no desire for yoga siddhi, neither for moksha. I think it's okay for devotees anyway. The devotees don't want moksha, neither yoga siddhis. They are still in material platform. But it takes higher. Vaikuntha loke pina parsadadvam. O Krishna, O Lord, even I have no desire to become the associate in the Vaikuntha loka. That's still higher, isn't it? It's actually becoming associate of Lord in Vaikuntha is crossing this material world and going to Vaikuntha loka, at least something much more better than being in this world. It goes more higher. It says premapi na syad iti chetaramtu. It's saying that even if I have no love for Radha and Krishna, I don't want yoga siddhi, I don't want moksha, I don't want to be becoming associate in Vaikuntha, and even if I have no desire or no love for Radha and Krishna, O Krishna, please be merciful unto me, to all of us, that mamastu vrindavana eva vasha. Please fulfill my desire, of all our desire, so that we can reside in the place called as Vrindavana. Right? So that's Vrindavana. So that place, Krishna is feeling separation from that place. I think let's chant this once all again, maybe 2-3 times. Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasha. Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasha. Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasha. Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasha. So that's a prayer we can make every single, isn't it? Nice one. Mamastu Vrindavana eva vasha. Even the prayers in Vrindavan Ashtakam goes more higher. He says, O Lord, there, the place of Vrindavan is like that. Lord Brahma, he desires to become a blade of grass, isn't it? That is the place. And there, the gopis, they glorify and even they ask the Mother Earth, Ki, what kind of tapasya have you done? Or have you done some tapasya, austerities, so that Krishna came there and he is actually putting his bare foot across all the place of Vrindavan. Right, so that's the land of Vrindavan. And that Krishna is experiencing that separation from the Gopas and the Gopis and everyone from Braja. And that form is Mahabhava Prakash form, Lord Jagannath form. And as Narad Muni explained this nice pastime to King Indradyumna, he was in ecstatic. He said, wow. So I have been trying to see Nilamadhava. Nilamadhava has been seen by many people earlier, but the form of Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Mai, which I am seeing now, is the first darshan. Because Lord Brahma has said, for the first 50 years, I will be as Nilamadhava, and the next 50 years, I will be as Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra Mai, Sudarshan Chakra. So the four-handed form of Lord, Sankha Chakra Pada Gada Padma. So this four-handed form of Krishna has transformed into the four Chaturdha Murti, is coming to Brahma in the Oud, right? Like Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra, and Sudarshan Chakra. So this is the way when Indradyumna Maharaj came to know about this, he was saying, wow, that's the thing what actually I was looking for. And Narada Muni explained that this is the promise Krishna has given to me earlier, this form, so that he fulfilled my desire. We discussed this in our previous session as well, that how after seeing the form of Mahabhava, Narada Muni started shouting, I have seen it, I have seen it, I have seen it. So Krishna, please be merciful to all of the people in the world and show your kind form to everyone. And so King Indradyumna, Krishna has fulfilled my desire so that everyone all can see. And now you are the devotee of the Lord, so take care next. And then after saying this, his lamentation is completely satisfied now. He said, okay, I am on bliss now. There is no more lamentation of missing Nilamadhava. I have got Lord Jagannath, Baladev, and Subhadra Mare now. And then what next? And then Narada Muni says, we have the deities now. Now you start building a temple for the Lord, and I'll go and bring Lord Brahma. So to do the arati and pranapatishtha and all the other rituals, I'll bring Lord Brahma. You continue making the temple. He says, can I come with you? And King Indradyumna and Narada Muni, they both went to Brahmaloka. And as they went to Brahmaloka, they were waiting for Lord Brahma for some time. Lord Brahma came, and then Narada Muni reminded him that some time back, Mother Lakshmi has asked you to assist a king called Indradyumna, and now here he is. So please continue. And King explained everything to Lord Brahma. However, Lord Brahma says one more thing. He says, while the time you are here, there are so many yugas has passed away. So are you sure the deities are still there? It's another heart attack for King Indradumna. The deities are there, but it's not being installed yet. Worship has not been started yet, right? So Narad Muni assured him, don't worry, it's Krishna's desire. So anyway, eventually Narad Muni said, Lord Brahma says, you go there, I'll be coming very soon. And they both came and they started building a big temple, and king started preparing for the final day where Lord Jagannath's first arati can be done. At the same time, he says about that make three different chariots for Lord Jagannath, Baldev and Subhadra Maharani. The Skanda Purana describes about how the chariots should be, and the similar way we see now as well in Puri. We have the three chariots, and even in London we see three chariots comes out. So they have different flag marking, they have different number of wheels. We'll discuss one day, maybe I think next or maybe after that. While creating these chariots in Puri, everything is being completely new every single year. And Lord Jagannath, it has 16 wheels. Lord Baladeva has 14 wheels, and Lord Subhadra Maharani, it has 12 wheels in the chariot. And the color are Krishna's red and yellow, and Baladeva red, green, and Subhadra Maharani red and black. We see red on the front and the back and the side. We see black for Subhadra Devi, green for Baladeva, and yellow for Lord Jagannath. And Krishna's or Lord Jagannath's chariot is called as Nandi Ghosha. Lord Balram is Taladhwaja, and Subhadra Maharani is Darpadalana. So these are the three names for the chariots, and so many other details are also provided given, like the height and the width in that way. However, the chariots are ready as described by Narada Muni, and the temples are there ready for inauguration. Lord Brahma appeared. Lord Brahma appeared. He did a glorious arati, because when Lord Brahma came, all the devatas, they also came along with him, and they had a nice glorious arati for Lord Jagannath, Baladev, Subhadra Maharani, and Sudarshan. And then Lord Jagannath, Baldev, and Subhadra Maharani and Sudarshan, they are transferred into the chariot, and that was recorded as the very first ever Rath Yatra. And since then, we see the oldest festival of this whole universe, Rath Yatra, pulling the cart of Lord Jagannath. There is small break here. The break is, as we have planned for 11th of June, Rath Yatra Glasgow, that has been postponed now. We are working for another date, hopefully sometime in July. So I request the devotees, please pray to Shri Karuna Mayapur Sasi, so that he blesses us and we get a newer date very soon. We have intense desire to do Rath Yatra this year. Hopefully we'll make it. Otherwise, it's Lord's will. So please pray so that we can pull the chariot on the streets of Lord Jagannath this year and continue. Right? Let's pray for this, for Jagannath. So, yes, so I'll discuss a bit more, some pastimes about the Snan Yatra, and then we'll wind up today. So Snan Yatra is Lord Jagannath's appearance day. So Lord appeared in a Snan Yatra day, and in this year the Snan Yatra is the next Sunday, that's 4th of June. So we all can watch live from Mayapur or from Jagannath Puri, in both where. We'll discuss about Lord Jagannath in Mayapur in our coming sessions. So It's being described that there are 108 festivals being celebrated across the year in temple, Puri temple, and in the two festivals, Lord Jagannath comes out from his Ratnavedi or from his main altar to outside. The first one is Snan Yatra, and then following after 2 weeks he comes out for Rath Yatra. So for Snan Yatra, it's Snan Yatra still Lord Jagannath doesn't comes out completely from the temple premises. He is still there inside the premises, and the high altar is being made for him. It's called as Snan Bedi, or the altar for bathing Lord Jagannath. Baldev and Subhadra over there. And on the full moon day, Lord Jagannath, Baldev, Subhadra, after Mangala Arati, they are taken by the Pandas to the altar, where so many Vedic mantras being chanted, kirtan goes on, and there the festival of Lord Jagannath's bathing ceremony happens, the Snan Yatra happens, and there is being described. So I think in one day, maybe in couple of weeks time, we'll walk through the interior places of Lord Jagannath, and there we will see there is a one place in Jagannath is called, beside Rohini Kund, there's a small kund, and that kunda, the small kind of well, very narrow, it opens only once a year for a Snan Yatra day, and the water from that kund is being pulled out, and there are 108 pots, and these water are being mixed with nice fragrance, all herbs for Lord to take bath. And from 108, 35 pots are for Lord Jagannath, 33 pots are for Lord Baladeva, 22 pots are for Lord for Subhadra Maharani, and 18 are for Sudarshan Chakra. So Sudarshan is now in a with a stick. So these 4, 35, 33, 32 and 18 becomes 108. And after Snan Yatra, the Lord are being dressed. I think some devotee says Lord Jagannath is again dressed as a Lord Ganesha, Gajapati dress, Gaja dress, not Gajapati. And then after that, Lord Jagannath take rest for 15 days. So ritually it is being understood like that Lord Jagannath becomes ill because of so much of water, so much of bathing, and with herbs and everything. But I think His Holiness Gaur Govind Maharaj, he writes in his book, there he says, actually Lord Jagannath doesn't become sick. Lord Jagannath gets repented on those 15 days. However, in those 15 days, Lord Jagannath darshan is being halted. I think I've heard that the worship goes on for the deities, but still with the pictures, not the realities, and it might be going on with the curtain closed. However, for 15 days, Lord is not giving his darshan for common people, and in these 15 days, people normally used to go to Alarnath to take darshan, and it's been described that in these 15 days, when Lord is being repented, or you can say as when he is in sick, the devotees, they used to go to Alarnath to take darshan, and we have seen this in Mahaprabhu's pastimes. He used to go there as well. And so Skanda Purana describes is a falashruti. Anyone who sees the Lord or does the Abhishek of Lord on the Snan Yatra day, or who sees the ceremony or who perform this ceremony, like the priest or the Pandit used to do Abhishek of the Lord, and the people, the Snan Bedi is so high that actually people can see from outside as well. So either you see it or you do Abhishek. In the both way, after seeing it, you never come back to this material world. So that's the falsity of seeing Snan Yatra. We, as a devotee, we all aspire to go to spiritual world, isn't it? So just by seeing the Lord on the Snana Bedi, getting being bathed by the devotees, and actually we can anyway. But the devotee, the desire to go to Vaikuntha, no Vaikuntha Loka, so go to Goloka Vrindavan, isn't it? But we see from our acharyas that even the devotees, they do not desire anything except the service. Even if they wanted to be in the hellish planet, but if they can get association of the devotees where they can hear Krishna Katha, they are happy with that as well, right? So, with this note, we'll stop here the pastime of Lord Jagannath, Baldev Sodara Maharani. For the next, maybe 1 or 2 a week, we will continue the pastimes of the devotees with Lord Jagannath. We'll try to see how Lord Jagannath is actually doing pastimes. And then, and one day, maybe the 3rd week, we will go the interior of Lord Jagannath, where we can see which places are there. Now, I think many of the devotees from here who can't enter the Puri temple, but still we can visualize. It's like entering the temple by our mind. We can go there. Hare Krishna. Jagannath Valdeswara Maharani ki, Srila Prabhupada ki. Krishna.